You're just gonna love her. She touched John Lennon. I told her she really gotta stop doing it. But very funny. You're just gonna love her. Everybody, Helene Witt. Everybody, go ahead, baby.
Thank you. I hope I didn't touch John Lennon recently. That would be pretty necrophiliac-ish, right? Anyway, yeah, I'm a Beatle fanatic, and I ran away from home, and I went to Abbey Road and stood there when they came in and out, and then, like, I thought about my parents' college tuition that they had just put down that summer, and I said, I better go home. The only jobs they had there for me was to work in the hospital and do hospital corners. Yeah, and I couldn't do that, but I didn't come to talk about that. But I will tell you a story about the Beatles, because I went to Woodstock 50 years ago, and then last year I went to Coachella, called Desert Trip, and Paul McCartney was at both, Bob Dylan was at both, the Stones were at both. So when Paul came out at Coachella and sang Maybe I'm Amazed, I just said, maybe I'm amazed, Paul. You're out there for 3 hours. I could barely stand up here for 5 minutes. You know, my leg hurts. He's 74 or something. So that's the Beatles story. And Bob Dylan, that was something, because, you know, Bob Dylan used to play the guitar, and at Coachella, the curtain comes up, and I hear Bob Dylan, and all I could see is my Aunt Esther B. Greenbaum's twin playing the organ with a hat, gray hair, and, you know, you can imagine if she's my Aunt Esther B. Greenbaum, that's what she looked like. And I'm hearing the song, and it's almost over, and I realized that was Bob Dylan. He has arthritis, and now he's playing the organ. So then the Stones come out. I mean, Mick Jagger, could you imagine how he could dance around and have all these kids, right? So he's singing Satisfaction. It was excellent until he did this. At the chorus, I stood up, I raised my hand in front of thousands of people. I said, no, Mick Jagger. I came all the way here from New York. I paid thousands of dollars with the plane, the hotel, because I'm not going to sleep out in the desert like I would at Woodstock, right? And the money for the tickets for the 3 days. I said, you're going to sing Satisfaction to me. I mean, Rod Stewart did it too once when I went to see him. He's singing Maggie May, and he goes like this. No, I'm not going to sing Maggie May to you, Rod Stewart. But anyway, getting back to the two concerts, what a change 50 years made. Like in Woodstock, there was a tent for acid trips when they're bad, and they had you come down from your acid trips. The tent at Coachella was for bad acid indigestion. And there was this saying they had at Woodstock. It's in the movie where Arlo Guthrie says, "The freeway's closed, man." It was a famous line in the movie. And everybody left their car on the, what do they call that highway upstate near Woodstock? It's a famous part of the movie. Everyone got out of their car and they walked to Woodstock, to the fairgrounds. At Coachella, the same thing happened. The freeway was closed. We got out of our vans. We pressed the button. The wheelchairs came down. 50 years later. So, I know, you don't know. I was a school teacher in New York. Mike knows. I was a school teacher in New York City. I'm retired now because I'm old. And thank you. And I taught in a really tough school in South Jamaica, Queens, near where I live. And like, to give you an idea how tough the school was, you walk in the building and you see the school colors, black and blue. And like when we were young, we used to carve our sweetheart's name in the desk. These kids carved their sweetheart's name in their sweetheart. Famous people went to my school. I'm proud of that. A famous Fox 5 newscaster, female. She was one of a kind in those days to be a female broadcaster. She's still around. And 2 NFL stars, and the ATM Bandit went to my school. Her name is Carol Jenkins. I talked to her on Facebook about the good old days of the school. And the ATM Bandit went there. And, I mean, to show you how tough my school was, like, the mayor used to say, no matter what goes on in the school, everything's a teachable moment. You seen that? So, you seen that, miss?
I get this other. It's a teachable moment.
Are you a teacher too?
Kind of.
So, like, I'm breaking up this fight. You see how short I am? I'm breaking up a fight, and this kid goes like this. He choked me terrible! I said, stop. You're using your adverbs incorrectly. He choked you terribly. And then when I was teaching measurement, they never gave us money for supplies. I had to bring everything in, just like these teachers in Oklahoma said they have to buy everything themselves. So when I was teaching measurement, I went home. I brought in my bathroom scale, my Weight Watchers scale, and my cocaine scale. I'm only kidding. I never went to Weight Watchers. But they have a tray, you could put a banana split on top of that. It's really good. But I'm getting older. That's why I retired. I'm getting older. Anyone else getting older like myself? Nobody's as old as me. Mike, you're younger than me. Well, I try to have a positive attitude about getting older. I'm losing my hair, but I know where it's going. It's going to my knuckles. Because when you go through the change, crazy things happen, like you don't have to shave your legs anymore and things like that. But you young ladies, you say, like, I can't wait for the change, right? Like, oh, I don't like the PMS and the cramps, you hear about it, cramps and all that. So then, you hear about it, like PMS, women PMSing. So what happens? The women look forward for the change so they could have the change. And then what happens? The mood swings. What'd you say?
Heat flashes, oh my God.
The hot flashes, right? And then you're like sorry that you couldn't wait for that part of your life. You know what I say to you young ladies? Menstruation, menopause, those were the good old days. I mean, if I had these bags during the Hurricane Sandy in the Rockaways in Queens, the F train never would have stopped running. These bags would have protected us. And like, you look in the mirror and I try to have a sense of humor, which is why I do comedy, and I notice I have pound signs here, and I have parentheses here, and then I have these new exclamation points. So if I have exclamation points, pound signs, parentheses on my face, I'll just lay down and you can send a text message on me. The cuckoo on my biological clock is wearing depends. You heard of the information age? I'm headed for the inflammation age. And I have this thing called varicose veins, ladies. You have something to look forward to. And I changed the name of mine. I call them the Google Roadmap to Adventure. This road takes you to the Sterling Forest. I'll break that down to you ladies who do the Brazilian. He gets it. It's like the Silver Lake. And this road takes you to the Dead Sea. So you were talking about meeting people and all that, and I got fixed up on a blind date with a guy from Brooklyn, Anybody else from New York besides me originally? Okay. Well, where are you from?
Bronx.
Oh, so New York. And I was just stuck in the Bronx. That's why I was so late, sitting in the traffic on the Cross Bronx. Well, anyway, I met this guy from Brooklyn, but I didn't meet him on the site. I met him from a blind date, but he starts to show me in his apartment his singles ad. It's like, why are you showing me this? I met you already on a blind date. It's not like I met him in a singles ad. But I knew something was going on that I should have been suspicious before I went to his apartment. You know why? Because I pressed the button. He pressed the button in the elevator of his apartment building in Brooklyn, and it went up one flight. Well, there's nothing wrong with that except, you know what his singles ad said? Loves long hikes. Excuse me, you love long hikes, but you can't walk up one flight of steps. I wish this wasn't true. And then I met another guy from Brooklyn, and his singles ad, which I did see, I met him that way, it said, loves romantic horse and buggy rides. Hello, you're not Amish, you live in Sheepshead Bay. It's funny if you've been to Sheepshead Bay. But, I like that. You're filling in my jokes and making each other laugh. What'd you say so I can laugh too? If they're not laughing at your jokes, let them make each other laugh as long as they're having a good time. But it's crazy in New York because we have like a nail salon on every other corner, if not every corner. Do you go to the nail salon? Even men go to nail salons. Does your wife go to one, Mike?
No.
She doesn't get her toenails done in her nail?
Get your nails done, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah. Do you go to the nail salon, miss?
No, I don't go with her.
No, I was asked this young lady. I didn't mean
I'll
you.
catch up in a minute.
They have men who go to the nail salon where I live, right, sir? Humor me. So, anyway, you know, like where I live, I've seen I've seen men from a team. You can tell they're either singers or they're from a team because, anyway, why'd I go off on that tangent? Women go to the nail salon too. I'm trying to include the men. So anyway, I go to the nail salon. Miss, do you know where the people are from who own your nail salon? You don't know where they're from? Are they like American?
Sheepshead Day.
Sheepshead Day. I'm telling you, Mike, your audience is funnier than anything I have to say to them. Do you know where yours are from? They're from the Philippines. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes you can figure out where they're from. And I think I figured out where the ladies from my nail salon are from. And like I said, we have one on every corner. I'll tell you where I drew my conclusion.
Okay.
First of all, they're speaking a language behind my back, and the only word I could make out from what they say is cuticles. They're talking about how fast my cuticles grow, but everything else is in their language, and they're cooking something in the back. I don't know if it's mineral, vegetable, is it an animal? What are they cooking back there, you know? Well, anyway, they have 30 forms of torture. They put you in this throne to do your toenails, but they do your fingernails at the same time, so you have no control of yourself. And then they put this vibrating machine on, so that it's like moving your whole body around. One person has this hand, one has this hand, and then someone has your teeth and your feet. I said your teeth, see? That's even funnier. And they're like filing your nails, and you just can't stand it. And then they gouge out some skin, so they're torturing me. But then they take this liquid, it's like Agent Orange. So now you're going to know where they're from. And they pour it onto your fingers. And if you have a paper cut, forget about it. And then it drips into your blouse that you just brought back from the dry cleaner. I think they're from Vietnam because I said to them, I didn't burn down your village. I marched against the war. And then the napalm, like when you do the fill, that powder, that's napalm. So in the end, after they shut off the vibrating machine and cutting your toes, and you pay them, then you like slide into the water and you get zapped to death. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Mike.
Good job, man.
Helene Witt, everybody!